Welcome back. The most common New Year's resolutions are exercise more, lose weight, improve finances. Did you look at my list?
No.
Oh.
I did not steal a peek. I just copied off mine. Choosing one is easy, but sticking with it, not so much. That's why we brought in an expert to talk about how to make realistic resolutions and how to remain faithful to them all year long. So we want to welcome back to the show Priority Health's Vice President of Medical and Clinical Operations, Dr. David Rzeszutko. Doctor, thank you so much for joining us. Now, okay, I have made countless New Year's resolutions. I don't think any of them stuck around past the end of January. How can we set resolutions that we're actually going to keep?
Sure. So it's probably very helpful to just remind folks that, again, you don't have to wait to the start of a new year to make any positive changes in your life. They can really happen really anytime. And those resolutions or the goals that you set for yourself also don't have to be very large, right? They can be relatively simple things, like maybe drinking one extra glass of water a day or getting an additional hour of sleep or something like that. You'd want to start with a detailed plan. So writing down your goal, that will help you be mindful of it and sticking with it. And then again, start small and be patient with yourself.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that's great. Let's break down those top three a little bit more if we could. Exercise, always on the top of the list for a lot of people, like Eric said. We know that I've done stories there at the local gyms before. They're always busy for about 3 weeks.
I'm sorry,
and then you're locked into the gym membership.
That's me. I'm absolutely one of those people.
So talk to us about that. I mean, what are some of the challenges, physically? Maybe it's logistics. I just don't have enough hours in the day. Psychologically, where do you start with just attacking that?
Yeah, or all of the above, right? Eric, Bill, I mean, you keyed in on a lot of the issues that folks typically do face when they're making a physical goal for themselves. I think what I'd want to remind listeners about is that those physical goals, we do need to be mindful of our body. And so setting a realistic goal. So again, if maybe you want to, run, setting a goal at the beginning of the year to run, 3 marathons, probably not really realistic, and also sets yourself up for potential injury. So when you're making a physical goal, you're going to want to be mindful of your own body, mindful of your own capabilities, and then listen to your body as you're moving through that activity, whatever it is. Consulting a clinician is probably a really good idea or advisable whenever you start a new exercise regimen or exercise plan, and maybe even connecting with them about, are there things that you can do to monitor and maintain as you move through those goals, or as you are establishing the whatever the exercise routine is that you have?
Now, Dr. Forbes reports that, as we mentioned earlier, the 3 most common are lose weight, exercise more, better finances. Better finances is an ongoing battle, but focusing on the other 2, losing weight and exercising, when it comes to your health, should you be monitoring red flags, or if you're noticing changes in your body, maybe pump the brakes a little bit and slow down? How do you know if you're going too fast?
Yeah, that's a good question. Listening to your body is probably the best advice that one can give, and that may mean different things to different people. But if you engage in an exercise and you're experiencing unusual pain or pain that would not necessarily be commensurate with the type of activity, that's time to maybe throw up a red flag and seek help.
Absolutely.
When we're trying to change our nutritional patterns, we also want to make sure that we're not getting into something that's very restrictive, that's unrealistically restrictive, because we want to make sure that we're still getting good nutrition. And this includes a number of different quote unquote diets that are out there. So we want to make sure that we're still eating a well-balanced and healthy diet. And so again, consulting someone who may have a little bit more of expertise in those areas, probably advisable.
My first inclination about finances was we don't have to talk to Dr. Rzeszutko about that. You're talking, medical. But at the
Yes.
same time, as we just talked a few minutes ago with our last guest, stress, anxiety. You know, just for me in the last 30 days, a big car repair. I've had the plumber out to the house.
Yep.
Eric's done all these home remodeling projects.
I've had to rebudget like 7 times in the past 30 days.
So how much does that weigh on you, your psyche, and really obviously it can affect your overall health too?
Yeah, so we talk about mind and body. And so, although I do spend a lot of time with my patients talking about physical health, the corollary or the balance of that is emotional health. And we do need to take a pulse check on both. Because if we're experiencing undue stress, that can be as prohibitive in us achieving any of our goals and can really affect our medical health immeasurably. There's a lot of good research out there that we talk about what are called the behavioral health comorbid conditions. So meaning that if you are feeling stress or we do have some other mental condition, those underlying mental health, behavioral health conditions can significantly adversely impact your physical health. And so if we're a diabetic that's having difficulty with sugar control, but now we're also getting over and unduly stressed about that, that can magnify and make the diabetes harder to control.
Yeah.
Same thing across the board with heart disease, cardiovascular health, etc. So it's so important to try and do what we can to stress reduce and be mindful of again, mind and body connections.
So important.
Well, Dr. Rzeszutko, thank you so much. We'll encourage
Yes.
folks to check with their doctor, clinician, or if you're a Priority Health patient, check the back of your card for the contact info for Priority Health. Thank you, sir. Have a wonderful holiday and a Happy New Year to you.
Blessings to you.